Fellow Drops fans, we're dropping a mojito today. Sort of. A mojito co-fermented Colombia Huila from KOS Coffee Roasters out of Orlando, Florida. Let's get into it. Hello, fellow Drops fans, fellow fans, and coffee lovers everywhere. My name is Haley. I am your local resident Q grader coming at you live from the pink room, gray room studio at Fellows San Francisco storefront and playground to talk to you about a super new process, experimental process, really wild, expressive, delicious coffee. It is a Colombia Huila produced by Rodrigo and Claudia Sanchez, brought to you by KOS Coffee by way of Ally, who imported the coffee with KOS. Fantastic stuff, super cool. But before I get into why the coffee is so cool, let me get into how I'm brewing it, yeah? So I am using 21 grams of coffee in to 350 grams total out. I am brewing at 201 degrees Fahrenheit, so a little bit cooler than my standard 205. I bloomed 50 grams, right about 50 grams. At 40 seconds, I broke bloom. I poured up to 150, then I'll pour up to 250, and then I'll finish at 350. I'm only adding agitation after the last pour. So after the last pour, I will do 10 gentle swirls of agitation, and that is the agitation that I'll be adding. I grounded a 5.1 on Ode with SSP burrs, so about a 4.1 on Ode Gen 2. All other grind setting conversions as they pertain to Opus or Ode Gen 1 are on the Brew Guide blog post in the description of this video, linked in the description of this video. So yeah, medium grind setting. And I've been finding that these brews are finishing around 3 minutes, but total brew time, of course, varies. Yeah, so now that we've gotten through how I'm brewing it, let's talk about what the deal with this mojito processed coffee is. So mojito processing is very interesting. It's a super experimental process, as I said before. Sorry, my brain is catching up to what I'm saying because I'm like, really does give off limeade, mojito, mint taste. Just expands the mind. But so mojito processing, getting back to it. So this coffee is a Purple Caturra varietal. In this processing, the cherries of the Purple Caturra coffee plant are used to make sort of like a mother culture, or part of the cherries. The fruit of the Purple Caturra cherries are used to make kind of a mother culture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That culture is fed with sugar, with molasses, a little bit of lemon, mint infusion. That sweetener accelerates that fermentation. The cherries are then checked for impurities and depulped fully and then added to sealed tanks for like 150 hours. And then the mother culture's in there for those 150 hours. And then everything's taken out. There, everything's dried and then dried for like 15 to 18 days, and then boom, mojito processed coffee. Easy, right? As I said, this coffee comes from KOS Coffee in Orlando, Florida. Shout out to KOS. Fun fact, also, KOS in Norwegian loosely translates to kind of a coziness, or the idea of coziness, which I think is really cool and really cool for this time of year, and really cool for this coffee that has all of those, right? Like lots of mint, lime juice, limeade, and cane sugar, but also underneath there is a sweet, warm spice to me, like a little bit of cardamom. And again, this time of year, who doesn't love a little warmth? This coffee is really different, but strikingly clean, not super intense at all. Typically coffees with like experimental processing, personally, and this is a subjective opinion totally, you can have a different opinion for sure, but in my opinion, typically coffees with a ton of process on them, so super heavy anaerobics or like experimental processed coffees are like an experience, and I typically want to drink a cup of it and sip it slowly. With this, I've found that I am sipping quickly and can drink it all day. It probably tastes super great over ice too. Like a mojito But coffee. As the coffee cooled too, look out for a note that I was detecting, and I was detecting when I was sharing with some colleagues of mine. A little bit of sweet, round coconut, moving away from the mojito and towards pina colada vibes. Pretty cool. We're dreaming of a beach vacation in January in the cold northern hemisphere, obviously. Thank you so much, Kush, for bringing this to us, and Ally Coffee for partnering with Kush to bring this to us. Thank you to Rodrigo and Claudia Sanchez for producing this wonderful coffee. And thank you, Fellow Drops fans, for joining me for another Brew Guide video. As always, it is easy to order from Fellow Drops. All you have to do is text us back the number of bags you would like, 1, 2, 3, however many, and we will send them to you. If you don't want any coffee this week, don't text us back and we will not send you unnecessary coffee or charge you unnecessarily. We will just text you next week with another delicious curated selection. Thank you so much for joining me today. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or just want to talk shop about this coffee or any coffee, I always love hearing from you in the comment section below. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next week for the next Brew Guide video. See ya!